Hello everybody, this is Paweł Kozioł speaking, and today we are going to talk about attachments or contact plays. And this is the subject which needs one clarification, because weaker players tend to consider such moves as aggressive ones. Look, I'm attacking, I'm putting pressure on your stone. Whereas in the reality, attachment means that the opponent has the right to play first, and he will usually do it. So, in fact, such a stone is not attacking, but will be forced to defend itself in one way or the other. Now, I understand where this misconception comes from. It comes from the sequences like this. Because when black attaches here, he feels he has the power. He feels he is threatening this stone, which has to scramble for life. Which usually is possible, but you see this beautiful wall black has built, and you see the damage this sequence made to white's corner. So that's why you often view the attachment as an aggressive play, but this is not the case. The usual use of an attachment is when your stones are weak, when the opponent has a numeric superiority in the region, like here. And for example, one way of playing here, I'm not gonna tell you if it's a good way or a bad way. I'm just gonna show you how the attachment works. White can start here. After this move, he will try to get a core in the corner, but black often plays here. In which case, white has this funny continuation. Another attachment. A threat. Perhaps this stone will become useful after white cuts here, so black naturally defends, and white looks for a move which makes his outside group stronger. This is a common theme, how an attachment should work. Not as an attack, but as a way of making our stones stronger in the area where the opponent is already strong. In the area where we don't mind making the opponent even more solid, because at the same time we solidify our position. So next I'm going to show you a part of a professional game where the attachment has been used as it should. This means used in a dangerous situation to settle a weak group, and as an added bonus you will see the technique similar to this Xie Ke, where the attachment inside has been used to create something outside. There is a question what a weaker player, for example a 4Q player like me, can gain by reviewing professional games. After all, at my level, games are usually decided by mistakes, either by punishing them, or, which is even more funny, by mistakes that go unpunished. Of course, games of professionals don't contain such outright bad moves, so one thing we can't learn from them is reaction to a really serious mistake, a thing which probably would benefit our game the most. Although, usually we don't have life and death problem in the professional games, because players of such caliber just don't get into such situations. They are able to calculate them several moves ahead and know that they can or cannot play some risky moves in the corner. They usually know whether the group is alive or not. If they do not, then the situation is sufficiently complex to bamboozle a player like me. So still, I wouldn't learn from that. But there is one more thing. Professional players play the moves which I can't possibly imagine. Sometimes they are understandable afterwards, but I would just not have the idea of playing them in the first place, even if such moves are easy to calculate. And here we will have a series of such moves linked by the common theme of the attachment. So here we have a situation from a professional game. Zhao Chenyu as black versus Xie Ke as white. It's black's turn, and it's one of the examples of these unexpected moves. What would you do here? A solid player might think about improving his position either here, and white jumps somewhere to solidify his position, perhaps here, perhaps just play here. Or this move, which has the usual continuation like this, and white should probably make this shape stronger, even though when I looked at this game at AI Sensei advised to play a tenuki here, thinking that these white stones are self-sufficient, black has no way of killing all of them, and losing just one is no big deal. An aggressive player as black would probably look for this kind of an attacking move. I have tried to analyze this, and I assure you it's very complex, and the reason of this complexity is that this black group is not fully alive. It's alive on Miai. It can live either by taking this stone or by taking this stone. And obviously you cannot do it with just one move. So when a fight begins, for example like that, at some stage white will play a move which takes away one of these Miai points. And so now if black just takes and just makes his group safe, then white group is safe too. Alternatively, it can threaten a core first, because if black solidifies, then this corner needs to win a core in order to live. So perhaps this is the move, just making this group safe, but then what white plays here, and I don't know which move is the best here, but white is good, white is alive. Black, of course, had this worked out in much more detail, and he played one of his surprise professional moves, which is actually quite possible to explain, because it simultaneously puts some pressure on this group from afar. Perhaps this stone influences some sequences from the corner fight, and also it makes this stone a bit more lonely. So what does white do? He notices the danger and tries to solidify this group by attacking these two stones. Of course, locally it gives him an upper hand, but what next? Black jumps, threatening to put these stones in motion. White didn't want to have any of that, so he just played against these two stones. Now it's black's turn, and again, a cautious player would choose this or this, not bad moves. But black played something unusual here. Of course, you see the intention, it's attacking this stone and profiting from this attack. Now, how would white defend? If I look at this position, I would probably find some sequence like this. Threatening to jump out, playing a peep, and then going out here. which should work one way or the other, because here we have a crosscut, here we can go away, and here we can go away. Of course, the problem is that black gets a solid position here, can still take this stone. It would not be a terrible sequence for white, but Xie Ke thought he would do better. By the way, another idea for white would be playing just here and trying to build the situation where this group can escape either this way or this way. So this can be also viewed as a preparatory move for the sequence I have shown you before. But what happened in the game? White played an attachment, and this is a typical attachment as you should think about it. This is a defensive move, a move played when our stones are weak, when they are outnumbered, which has the intention of making them stronger. Of course, the byproduct is that black stones will also become strong. So the first move is obvious, the second one too. Now black plays here. And this is another moment I wouldn't guess the continuation. I would automatically choose a move like this. Perhaps once more. But you already see a problem with this sequence, namely these stones are becoming weaker, and so by saving these two stones you hurt this group. It's still connected, of course, but perhaps black will find some clever way of putting these stones in motion, not for making them alive, but for playing a forcing move from outside. And there is no territory here, and black is gaining stronger and stronger position. So perhaps a professional player decided that this is not sufficient, and he played here. Now, of course, we have these two stones, so black makes the use of this situation and plays here. It seems that white has overplayed because these stones are difficult to save, but again, white had the idea of a special move here. He played here. Of course, black needs to find some way of defending these corner stones, for example like that. But after this defense, suddenly this stone has some support. Namely, if black does something aggressive, then white has a cut here, and if black defends, then white is safely connected. So black decided to take the corner, but in this case, white group is more or less settled. So the natural idea is to direct your attention elsewhere. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned a thing or two about attachments and that you enjoyed the moves in this game.